Another tip which not many people know about is welcome to Passport Pages, where I share tips and experiences on traveling as a solo Black female traveler, the journey to location and financial independence, and everything in between. I hope that you've all had a lovely Valentine's Day. If you got to go to a hotel, then I'm extremely jealous because I don't even know if hotels are open or not. And right now, to be honest, I just don't feel like there's any need for me to go to a hotel. But as soon as we can, I am going to be using these tips as well to make sure I get a hotel. And hopefully I can even go abroad as well. So today we're going to be discussing the best tips on how to book a hotel on a budget. Yeah. So the first thing that you want to do if you're booking a hotel is you want to read the reviews. Read the reviews, guys. But where you'll find the real tea is when you go and look inside those reviews and you see what people are really saying, people who have stayed there, and you'll know if it's worth booking or not. You plan first and book later. So when you're looking for a hotel and you're on a bit of a budget, then you do want to plan whatever it is that you're doing. So say if you're going abroad, you want to plan all your activities first, right? And just kind of write out a skeleton itinerary of how you're going to be spending your trip, just so that you know exactly where you're going to be staying, so it's in a convenient place, if that makes sense. So for example, say if you're going to Dubai and all of your activities that you've booked are going to be in the Dubai Marina area, then you may want to stay in the Dubai Marina area rather than somewhere like Jumeirah or downtown, just simply because it will just be way cheaper for you and more cost effective. I would say definitely plan your trip first before booking, and then you can book, and then you'll know, okay, right, I'm going to be staying here, which is close to everything I want to do, close to all the restaurants I want to visit. If there's only like one or two far away, that's fine, but yeah, you do typically want to stay kind of close to where the majority of the things you're going to be doing is, unless you've got loads of cash to splash. So yeah, you want to definitely stay nearby, and it will just be a lot more easier for you and cheaper. Make sure that you are booking in advance, okay? This is so important, guys. If you want to get a good deal, then you want to book the hotel in advance. The reason why is because when you book in advance, there's not as much competition for the hotel at the time. So another tip that I would recommend for booking hotels is to skip breakfast. Now, this is a bittersweet one because I absolutely love my hotel breakfasts. Like, they are the absolute best. Some of them, not all of them. And this is where the reviews come in handy. So you would want to check kind of if the hotel breakfast is worth having. Depending on the hotel, it can add quite a significant chunk to your bill. And there's going to be times where you may not want to have breakfast. There's going to be times where you do want to have breakfast. So there's no point in booking it every single day, having breakfast and adding that on. It's better that you either add it on anytime you want to have the breakfast in the morning, or you go outside and look for a cheaper alternative. Save a lot more when you skip buffet breakfast and just hustle it in the morning. Okay, so another thing that you want to make sure that you're doing when you're booking a hotel or before you book a hotel is you're researching. So you should be researching the country's rules as well as like the hotel rules and stuff like that, because I know that when I went to Doha, for example, I was really shocked when I got there and my friend wasn't allowed to come into my room. Because they said you need to have a marriage license before you are allowed in a room with anyone else. So their rules are really, really strict. And I was just thinking, phew, thank God this was not some sort of vacation or anything, because if it was, I would have been real mad. You would have to get separate rooms in Doha. So anyway, just be careful and just really, really, you know, do your research, girl. Oh boy. Another thing you want to do is know all your booking sites. There are so many booking sites out there, like booking.com, Kayak, Expedia, so many. I'm going to put a list in the description box of a list of all of them, or you can just refer to my blog post, which has all of them on there and the links to it. Some hotel comparison sites like Trivago are very good to check as well, because they actually tell you a straight comparison. So you can just put in the hotel that you want to stay at, and then literally it will come up with all the different prices that the different booking sites are charging, which allows you to save a lot more. So another tip which not many people know about is that if you book through an app, then you are more likely to find a nice deal. A lot of these hotel booking apps actually try to entice you to download their app by offering loads of discounts on the app. So I would recommend definitely downloading these apps and making sure that you know that you're getting the best deal. Ensure that you are reading the small fine print when you're booking hotels, because a lot of the time there can be a lot of hidden fees are only made aware to you when you actually arrive at the hotel, and you don't want that, because a similar thing happened to me when I went to Amsterdam back in like 2016. I went with a couple of friends, and when we got there they were demanding us to pay city tax and all sorts of different payments that we had to now fork out of our spending budget, which was a bit annoying. So yeah, always just check before you go, and then that way you can understand the full picture of how much the price is for the hotel rather than what they're advertising on the site, because they be lying for real. So make sure that you're using filters when you're searching online. So when you're using filters, this allows you to kind of filter out what you don't want and make sure that your hotel includes everything that you do want. So whether it's spa credit, whether it's breakfast buffet, just make sure you're using the filters as well. And then that way you can get what you want exactly, almost. And similar to what I mentioned earlier is you can actually pay at the property rather than paying up front. And I think that this is always a good idea, especially if you are having quite an expensive trip and you know you want to kind of budget things out. Then I would just recommend booking your hotel and then paying later if they have that option. Sometimes they have the option, sometimes they don't, but if they do have the option, then take it, because honestly, what are you going to lose for booking that later on? Because there's so many other things to worry about before you even get to the hotel financially that you may want to just kind of hold back on that. I mean, think about it, you have to pay for your hair, your nails, your toes. I mean, if you're like that, because I am, you're going to pay for transport to get there, you've got to pay for the flight, listen, there's so many things to pay for. You do not want to exhaust your budget unnecessarily when you can just pay when you get there. Some people may prefer to pay beforehand though, just so that they can actually get that cost out of the way. And if you got the coin, then go ahead and do that. But if you're on a budget, then yeah, you want to pay when you get there, and just make sure that you've budgeted well enough and also grinded hard enough to make sure you have enough for your hotel stays and your activities and everything in between. I'm not very flexible at all when it comes to my hotel stays, but if you do want to save some money, then you would want to be flexible. So whether that means staying in like somewhere that's not too expensive, somewhere that's, you know, maybe even a hostel, or you could even stay in like, I don't know, there's hotels on the train apparently and stuff like that. So if you're into that kind of thing, then by all means go for it, because you are going to save so much money. I like, you know, I just like, ooh, my back. Anyway, unfortunately for me, I like better thing. So, you know, yeah. I can't really compromise when it comes to the place I stay. I'm very OCD when it comes to like the toilet and stuff like that. So yeah, but if you guys are more flexible, then you can save some money. Ooh, that was tight. I feel like I ripped out my edges. I'm never winking again. So the last thing that I would recommend, definitely when booking a hotel, if you're doing it on a budget, is to ensure that you're utilizing the bundle deals. Bundle deal is basically when a provider, like a travel provider, provides you with a bundle of flight, hotel and breakfast or half board. So when you book those bundle deals, I feel like you make so much more savings. I remember when I went to Dubai for the very first time back in, was that 2016 or 2017? I can't remember, it was one of those. I went to Dubai for the first time and I booked a bundle deal, and I think I paid altogether £700 for about, let's say, 9 nights, and that was flight, hotel, and the hotel I stayed at wasn't some, you know, some yeah hotel. It was nice. It was JW Marriott Marquis, and you know, maybe back then things were just a bit cheaper in general. I'm not too sure how much it costs now, but I do know that, yeah, it cost me £700 altogether. Breakfast was not included, unfortunately, so yeah. I think I just made a killer saving, really, because I don't think I would have been able to stay there for £700, including the flight there and back. Like, come on, that's a killer saving. That's a killer saving. So yeah, I would definitely recommend utilizing the bundle deal if you can, if you've got the coin, because also with those bundle deals, for example, on teletext holidays, which is where I booked mine, and I've booked a couple, on holidays like that. They allow you to pay in installments, which I think is so cool. Like, it's really nice. So you can put a deposit down of as little as maybe £50 towards the holiday, and then you can literally just be paying it off, and then as soon as you've paid it all off, then you can go on the holiday. All you need to do is make sure you've cleared the balance at some point before you travel. I think that there's a specific time frame, but yeah, you just check that with the provider. And yeah, I'll leave the links below to all of the useful places that I go to book my hotels and stuff like that. And just make sure that you are getting the most for your money and enjoying your hotel stays. So yeah, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, guys, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you like, comment and subscribe, okay? Like, it literally costs 0p to subscribe. I know that sounds so cheesy and I hate when people say that, especially on like Twitter and stuff, but it does. It's free. It's free. So make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. And yeah, all right guys, take care. See you next time.